We have some devastating news to report on about the FDA. Quote, researchers at NYU sifted through data compiled between 1998 and 2003 and identified 57 clinical trials that received the highest level of violations for reasons that included poor record keeping, false information, failure to disclose adverse effects, and poor patient safety. They say only 3 of the 78 studies analyzed in the study noted the infractions. So in layman's terms, what they're saying is they found 57 bogus studies, but the FDA only recognized 3 of them as bogus. So this is a huge problem. What that means is the FDA is not doing their job. So they say the following, quote, in one case of research misconduct, a report stated that all patients saw improvements in their condition when, in fact, one person had a foot amputation less than 2 weeks after treatment. In another case, the final report didn't disclose that the FDA found an entire clinical trial to be unreliable. The NYU study also highlighted an instance of research misconduct that led to a patient's death. So, again, to put it as simply as possible, this means the FDA is just not doing their job effectively. They're not really looking out for all the negative and adverse side effects with new drug treatments. And that's a problem because they might as well not exist if they're going to act like that, right? But here's the thing. We know why this happened and how to fix it. Quote, this issue is not new to the FDA, an agency that has long enjoyed a profitable relationship with pharmaceutical companies. The passage of the Prescription User Drug-Free Act in 1992 sped up the drug approval process using fees collected from big pharma companies. There you have it. So what's the problem? The problem is in 1992, we decided we're not going to fund the FDA with tax dollars and keep them objective and independent and representing the American people and looking out for their goodwill. No, we're going to mandate that the FDA gets funded in large part by the drug companies themselves. So now the people who are supposed to be regulating the drug companies are funded by the drug companies, which sets up a massive conflict of interest, which means that oftentimes you're going to look the other way as they put out questionable products, and in many cases just flat out bad products. So that's the problem. The problem is corruption. The problem is money in politics. The problem is we legalized a massive conflict of interest, and now the FDA isn't doing the job that they're supposed to be doing. So we have to fix this. We have to get to the root of the problem, and the root of the problem is that Big Pharma is funding the FDA. Get rid of that, fully fund it with tax dollars, bring in new independent people who will look out for the American people, and then the FDA will go right back to doing their job the way that they're supposed to do their job. But this is devastating, man. This is horrendous. And this is why people... look, one of the reasons why this really gets under my skin is that this is one of the main reasons why a lot of people are now skeptical of all of modern medicine. Like, they don't realize how much they're fucking themselves and how much they're screwing over everybody, because this leads to smart people like Bill Maher all of a sudden becoming anti-vaxxers, where he thinks, Big Pharma has such a stranglehold on the government that they're willing to push out fake vaccines that, hurt you or don't help you or whatever the case is. Smart people get convinced that vaccines don't work and other treatments that do work don't work because they read stuff like this and they just do the broad generalized thinking and they go, well, if this is the case, what else are they lying to me about? You're breeding hatred and you're breeding skepticism and unhealthy skepticism that goes too far. So we need to fix this issue, and we need to bring confidence back to the medical establishment, because by and large as an institution, the medical establishment is one of the more noble that's out there. You always have examples of stuff like this and corruption and massive problems, but at the same time, by and large, they're looking out for you more than other people are looking out for you, the medical establishment, even though we hate the insurance companies, we hate the pharmaceutical companies, we hate the for-profit aspect of it. But the doctors themselves are usually decent people, and they actually care about empiricism. So we need to fix the systemic issues, because the systemic issues like this are the biggest problem.